All right, Chad Evans here in the Stone State studio in beautiful Northumberland, Pennsylvania, with my longtime friend, Ed Krebs.
Hello.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing well. We've known each other for a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, worked together a few times, put on a couple of shows, packed some houses.
Yeah. It was fun. We should do it again sometime.
We should do it again sometime. Yeah.
Just don't keep me out past my bedtime.
And his bedtime's getting earlier and earlier.
8:30, 8:35, 8:40.
The music scene, though, kind of has drifted towards earlier shows. There was a time when you wanted to go on at midnight or 1, and now you want to be the 9 o'clock band to be home by 11 o'clock. So
I think those days are over, though. For me. For us.
The out late?
Yeah.
Oh, when we have to do a till 1 in the morning show, it's...
there's
some belly aching done. Yeah, I'm not happy about it. There better be an upcharge for that. You know?
Well, we're with the Albright Center for the Arts out there in Sunbury.
Yes.
And Ed, how did you get tied in with the Albright Center? And tell us a little about your role and what you do for them.
I was on the SRI board and had started being part of the Albright, just being in the building and checking it out and seeing what's going on. I was actually just looking for a couple of days of work to fill in some gaps. And they needed a venue manager to kind of answer the phone and tour weddings and whoever's going to come in and use the facility as a banquet hall. Well, there's 2 stages in there, and the Roadhouse was done and the Duckin was done. So, the itch to put on shows and have a big, giant, awesome rehearsal space and a room with a 6-second reverb. I don't know. It just kind of came together. So there was some community partner dollars that wanted to see some listening series put on. There's a lot of great local original bands, and there's no outlet for them a lot of times. So we put on a couple shows there and started advertising for it by having local musicians come in and sing favorite songs, appropriate songs for that reverby space up in the church, and original songs as kind of an advertising campaign. And then it snowballed, and it turned into a couple of cool shows. We figured out how the church room has a 6-second reverb in it, which is tough when you're trying to pump concert level volume into it. So Mike Swank and I decided it might be best to wrap that entire room in velvet. So we did, and got the reverb down to about 2 seconds. So we pushed 3 concerts through that last fall. We'll jump into that here for a second.
Go ahead.
So the fall and the spring is the only time we can use that church room because the heater crapped out and there's no air conditioning. So we always have a spring series now and a fall series. But last year we did a Grateful Dead show, a blues review, and then we have a music club there at the Albright also. So I brought in some of my known associates and it was Ed Krebs and the known associates. Different groups that I play in, different members of the club just got up and we did a 2-hour set of just a whole bunch of cool songs. So we were able to push proper volume through it. We lit it, Mike Swank lit it brilliantly. And after doing all that, there's enough interest in the community that we were awarded some money from the Dagenstein folks. And actually after this, I'm going to unpack our new lighting package.
Awesome.
So we've got a new sound package and lighting package in anticipation of our fall season that's coming up in October.
Well, let's talk about the fall season just quickly. What type of events, what types of concerts do we have there at the Albright Center?
Okay, so we got the reverb down to 2 seconds, but it's still fairly ambient in there.
Okay.
So for millions of dollars, you can acoustically treat that room, but it's 400 capacity. Why not bring in shows that make sense for that space, that celebrate that type of room? So I go back, I'm an 80s, 90s guy, so I love that grunge stuff. And that's, kind of what popularized the MTV Unplugged series. And I don't know if you know how long that series ran, but if you dig into that, that might have been 20 years and hundreds of bands. They did hip-hop stuff in there. There was metal stuff in there. The glory days of grunge is my one show, and that was kind of what made it huge. But that's what I think of when I see that room. I want volume and music that isn't going to excite that reverb too much. So
I mean, you can great ambient sound to it, but also a great environment to see a storyteller's unplugged type of series. Yeah. So do you have certain events in mind?
Yes.
Of what you got coming up?
Yep. October 1st, we have local band Monkey and the Engineers.
Okay.
Some of those guys' office out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, they're doing a Grateful Dead tribute. Doors at 6, show at 7, $15 for tickets.
Wow, great.
Trying to keep it affordable and have something for the entire community to come out and enjoy. The 22nd, Kinsey. Everybody knows Kinsey.
Hey, all right.
They're doing a Tom Petty set, and there was talk of possibly a second set of something else. Might be all Tom Petty, but they'll whatever they do will be awesome. And then the 29th, Birdlaw's coming in to do the Golden Years of Grunge. So that's what I've got so far. But it's funny, as soon as you start posting these shows and putting them out, all of the up and down the East Coast touring tribute bands start reaching out. Hey, what do you got? You got a spot for us? So
that's a good problem to have, though.
It is. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff coming, and if we can pull this season off, I don't know, next year, sky's the limit. So, but looking good. Already selling tickets. The ticket links are out there, and there's already purchases being made. So,
what would you say about someone that's never maybe heard of the Albright Center? What would you say about the Albright Center that maybe somebody doesn't know about? How about that question?
Boy, what do you say about it? It's awesome. It's huge. It's an old church. I think it might be 90,000 square feet. If you're not careful, you can get lost in it the first 2 weeks you're working there. But it's a great spot, They built that back in there's a number of different dates stamped into that building.
Sure.
Somewhere in the 20s and 30s that was put together and completed. Huge church. There are almost like upper level theater boxes around the top. Maybe that was for the upper crust of Sunbury. Back in those days. But it's a huge space, great for art, great for performing arts, which is what we're trying to do with it. Newly remodeled and temperature controlled basement with a 32 by 16 foot stage. You've performed on that stage, with your
down in the lower level. It's an awesome venue. Great kitchen, the whole thing.
Kitchen's newly redone. There's a dance floor. We do some fun stuff down there. Then upstairs, same footprint, but with a 65-foot dome and pews for seats. Seats 400, 250 downstairs. Cool spot. There you go.
How did it all get started? Was it strictly through SRI that were like, hey, we need a performing arts center in Sunbury? Do you know like the logistics on how it got it going?
That's before my time, but yes. The church, like a lot of the churches around here, the whole region, combined congregations and buildings went up for sale. It's a big building. It's a lot to maintain and a fairly large expense. Best of my knowledge, the city passed on it. SRI grabbed it and said, let's put a performing arts center in here, and got to work securing funds to do that. But you're punching up all the time on a project like that. It's tough. Some wins, some setbacks, board changes, people change. It's 15 years or almost 20 years, I guess now, with that building. So it's just trying to keep it alive.
Wow. That's pretty great. You talked about the Dagenstein helping out. Any other sponsors that have helped you out along the way?
Yeah, sure. Community partners are Wise Markets, JLO Giving Fund, and UPMC. They give us nice funding every year, and Dagenstein just set us up with that grant and some other stuff over the years. And last year, the acoustic treatment in that room was courtesy of Bowen Agency, Purdy Insurance, Penn's Tavern, Sunbury Motors, and Fresh Roasted Coffee.
That's awesome.
Got all that done for us. So real special thanks to all those folks. And
that's
couldn't
awesome.
do it without you.
Yeah. What type of events? What more would you like to see in the Albright Center?
I'd like to get through this season.
Pie in the sky.
Pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Because there's tons of great tribute acts out there. I'd like to bring them through. We're due for an original band to come out of Sunbury, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
So something like that would be kind of cool. We want that center to. I want shows in there 4 times a week. I mean, that's the overall vision. I don't know much about theater. I don't know much about dance, but we do have some. Year after year, customers that come back and rent the space out to do recitals and dinner theaters and stuff like that. We put together a plan to hang a curtain. Actually, we hung a curtain upstairs for a Wizard of Oz production a couple of months ago. It was hodgepodge, but it worked. So we now have a plan for a permanent curtain. So that'll make dance and theater a little more dramatic and proper, I guess. So pie in the sky, small nationals to fit that space, big nationals to fit that space, intimate evenings of only 200 tickets sold with special guests, whoever, and love to have you guys back to do a dinner.
I would love
murder mystery, but maybe do that upstairs with a curtain so it can be like a real theater show.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that. I have some ideas about that. I think that'd be a nice little resident home for a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah.
So if people want to follow along, where do they need to go to be involved?
Albright Center for the Arts. Check that page out, certainly. We also have the Tuesday Night Music Club, which happens on Tuesday nights. Imagine that. First and third of the month. And that is sort of the resident music club of the Albright Center. And a place that I try to push information out kind of in one spot that's, you don't have to follow 50 pages. All of the things that we're doing at the Albright are being promoted oftentimes by the Tuesday Night Music Club page. So you can go and like that page. You can join us on Tuesdays if you'd like. It's kind of open micy, open jammy, cheap food, BYOB, and a fully backline stage. So if you want to come play, that's great. Honestly, it was kind of, my neighbor and I came up with the concept. Where do you go inexpensively and hear good music? As a spectator, it wasn't really necessarily built as a music club for a million musicians, although please, you're all welcome to come play. But it's also anybody that just wants to come to listen to music, be part of the marketing effort at the Albright, come see shows, get first dibs on tickets, all the things. That was the real design of it. So
right now for the Albright Center, maybe somebody listening to this content or watching this video, what are some of the needs of the Albright Center right now?
Butts and seats, buy tickets.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep them affordable. If I could sell 300 tickets to each of these shows, I would just be tickled. It's so, how hard it is to sell at a room.
Yep.
That would be awesome. Join the Tuesday Night Music Club page, even if you don't become a paid member and come out. Just keep abreast of what's going on. Like and share posts, buy tickets.
Buy tickets.
And listen, if there's something you want to see, get at me. Come to the Albright, hunt me down, go to the Albright page, send a message. I'll answer anybody that messages. If there's a show you'd like to see, or if you're in a band and you'd like to put on a show, or you've got a concept for a show, I've got a space. So.
One of the things that I've heard is, boy, the Albright Center is really cool, but where do you park? Where do you park around here?
Yeah,
where are you gonna park?
There's a link somewhere on a website somewhere. We're redoing the website. We're kind of under 5 different menus on the SRI website right now.
Okay.
We're going to have our own website, I think, in the next couple months. That'll make things a little easier. There is a parking link on that, but so that there are 5 municipal lots within 2-minute walking of the Albright. One of those is at the Dagenstein Library. There's an old city warehouse directly across Chestnut Street, and that holds about 50 cars. You've got Career Link down the way, Kohl's Hardware, and you don't think Burger King's that close, but it's really only exactly 1 block away. So that's a big municipal lot also, and then all the street parking. So
yeah. Well, people, say about the parking all the time. I said, well, New York City has a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And parking is at a limited in New York City, and they seem to do okay out there.
Right.
So
yeah. Before I knew that the capacity in that basement was 250, we packed 400 people in there one time, and we all got parked. So it can be done. Yeah.
What was that event?
Graduation.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's for the public as well. If you are looking for a place or looking for a venue, maybe you want to have your own show and you need a stage to accommodate. What's the best way for them to reach out or to acquire within at the Albright Center?
You can stop in Monday through Thursday. There's generally somebody there till about 4. call me, reach out to me on social media, Ed Krebs. Tuesday Night Music Club, Sunbury, PA's page. You can reach out to that. The Albright Center's page. Sunbury's Revitalization. Any of those would get through.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to hit this one angle, the one you don't like, coming down that way.
Okay.
You said not to do that one, but I want to make sure everybody sees your fancy logo up there.
Yeah, it's a great logo.
What's left, Ed Krebs? What do you want to talk about? I mean, we covered a lot, you know?
Hang on, I made some notes.
Oh, I like the notes. Go ahead. What do you got with the notes?
We touched on all the good stuff. Something I do want to mention.
Yeah, please.
One of my big angles for this, being part of the Sunbury's Revitalization team, if we can put 400 people in that Albright Center 3 or 4 times a week, Midtown Bistro, Sunbury Sub, and Penn's Tavern, and all the local eateries up and down the street, and then it's not Dan's Den anymore.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about.
Boondocks,
All those places right around here. Get yourself a reservation before you come in. The overall idea is revitalizing downtown Sunbury. My piece of it is arts because I like playing music and listening to music and putting on shows. But certainly the bigger effort is to revitalize the business district downtown in Sunbury. So.
Absolutely. There's such a huge opportunity, and there's something to be said about a dinner and a show. I love the dinner and a show aspect.
I've tried some of those. Yours work.
Ours worked. But what I'm talking about, someone coming from Williamsport, and they come in, they have a bite to eat at Midtown or wherever, and then go see the show.
Absolutely.
Our job as I think community members is to highlight these places where people can come in, enjoy some hospitality, have a burger, have some drinks, and then go see a show. And I think that's a huge opportunity. And I compliment Sunbury for doing this because it's a big deal. Yeah. We need dinners and shows.
Yes,
that's what we need.
Agree.
And you're providing the shows.
Doing my best. And sometimes dinner. We've done a couple of dinner and a show. The murder mystery dinners always work real well.
They were a lot of fun. Yeah, they were a lot of fun to do. Yeah. But I have ideas.
Okay.
I got all kinds of stuff.
I bet.
All right.
I bet.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Ed?
I think that's it.
Okay. That sounds great. Listen, we're going to continue the conversation more, hopefully do this more on maybe on a monthly basis, just to keep people informed about the Albright Center.
I'd like that.
In downtown Sunbury, just to let them know that it's going very well. We're having a lot of great shows, and there's opportunity to see some things that you might not be able to normally see, which is really cool. So kudos to you, Ed.
Thank you.
Well done, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it.
As for me, I'm Chad Evans inside the Stone State Studio here in Northumberland, Pennsylvania. We'll see you next time.
Yes.